Joe Rogan and Cat Williams speak about the mark of the beast. What is the mark of the beast?
Matter is that most people would like to be controlled more by their government if they
To make
had.
it easier, maybe.
Most people are all for government control as long as they don't have to discuss it.
Yeah, as long as it works in their favor, they'll give up a lot of rights. And then hopefully the next administration that's
Rights are
right wing
generally
won't abuse
worthless
those
at the
rights.
time.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people that if the government can make life easier, a lot of people have it hard, right? So if the government
Yeah,
comes in and says, I'm going to make it easier for you, but I'm going
right.
to need certain requirements of you. I'm going to need you to have a digital ID. That digital ID will be attached to a social credit score. And we're going to give you universal basic income. You no longer have to worry about food or shelter. You'll be taken care of. And now you can pursue your dreams.
Is this the mark of the beast you're
Yeah,
speaking of,
I
sir?
think it is.
Right.
I look at
That's the whole thing. Is it's never been difficult at any point in history. Like,
They're speaking about the mark of the beast, that there are certain requirements that you must do to comply with the government in order to receive certain rights, like going to the grocery store, buying certain things, selling certain things, having property. If we as society become too dependent on the government, then we're going to end up giving up our rights to the government. And what do we do for the past couple of years during shutdown, during lockdowns? A lot of people wanted to comply with the government. They wanted to give up their rights. They wanted to go back into this life, back to normal. So what did they do? They wanted convenience and they complied. They ended up getting the jab, a lot of people, because they lost their jobs. Now, where does it talk about the mark of the beast? Well, the mark of the beast is actually prophetic. It actually talks about this in the Bible. The mark of the beast is actually spoken about in Revelation 13, verses 11 through 18. Then I saw another beast rising out of the earth. It had two horns like a lamb, and it spoke like a dragon. It exercises all the authority of the first beast in its presence, and makes the earth and its inhabitants worship the first beast, whose mortal wound was healed. It performs great signs, even making fire come down from heaven to earth in front of people. And by the signs that it is allowed to work in the presence of the beast, it deceives those who dwell on earth, telling them to make an image for the beast that was wounded by the sword and yet lived. And it was allowed to give breath to the image of the beast, so that the image of the beast might even speak and might cause those who would not worship the image of the beast to be slain. Also, it causes all, both small and great, both rich and poor, both free and slave, to be marked on the right hand or the forehead, so that no one can buy or sell unless he has the mark, that is, the name of the beast or the number of its name. This calls for wisdom. Let the one who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So the mark of the beast is actually prophetic. What Joe Rogan and Cat Williams are speaking about is something that has already been prophesied or predicted in the Bible. Many people will not be able to buy or sell unless they comply to the government, to this beast system, and get the mark. So you must grow in your faith as a Christian, as a believer in God. For you to reject God, He will reject you. So this is why many people are going to reject God and get the mark of the beast, because they are afraid of their lives. They fear the beast over fearing God. So in order to avoid this and not reject God, you must grow in your faith and your trust in God each and every day.
so it was powered by the hot water springs. And to what end? How do you know all this? First of all, is this marijuana talk?
I don't think so. This is
Where did you read this?
if you follow information about humankind, you find out that in all parts of history, people were coming to this region for their information and their knowledge and their things
Yes.
that were forbidden, and
Yep.
these were not these were the highest of human civilization here.
Not even comparable to anyone else.
No.
Nor since. Nor
Now
since.
or yeah,
Nor since.
right.
The
And-
Great Pyramid of Giza is insane.
right. Like
It's insane.
like even Tesla says that this is where he came to get the information. But if you follow that information pathway, it leads you to this character called Thoth, right? And the emerald tablets of Thoth are literally mind changing and mind blowing, just because you understand when this was written and the terminology being used is
When was it written?
far too accurate for now. So I'm sure that
Here it is. Emerald Tablet. Also known as the Smaragdine tablet, or the Tabula Smaragdina. Boy, I fucked that up. It's a compact
Hermes
and
Trismegistus.
a cryptic hermetic text. It was highly regarded by Islamic and European alchemists as the foundation of their art. Though attributed to the legendary Hellenistic figure Hermes Trismegistus.
All right, so it's crazy how they are going down a rabbit trail to this emerald tablet where these people are trying to find this forbidden knowledge. And this forbidden knowledge is linked to alchemists and these occultists. And that a lot of occultists, a lot of people in Satanism and witchcraft, they perform alchemy, or they try to receive divine and hidden revelation, hidden knowledge through these secret means. And yes, they're going to get secret knowledge, evil knowledge, but in the end, it's going to lead them to destruction. It's a gateway and a path to hell, right? We can receive divine revelation either through two sources. It's from God, who is Jesus Christ, or it's from the devil. And this way, they are receiving this hidden knowledge, but it's through an evil way. It's through a dark way. It's through these dark arts.
Trismegistus. How do you say it, bro? How do you say it?
Trismegistus.
Trismegistus. The text of the Emerald Tablet first appears in a number of early medieval Arabic sources, the oldest of which dates to the late 8th or early 9th century. It was translated into Latin several times in the 12th and 13th centuries. Numerous interpretations and commentaries followed. So what does it say, though? The Egyptian god Thoth. Okay, it says beginning in the 2nd century BC onwards, Greek texts attributed to Hermes, a syncretic combination of Greek god Hermes and the Egyptian god Thoth, appeared in Greco-Roman Egypt. Those texts known as the Hermetica are heterogeneous collection of works that in the modern day era are commonly subdivided into two groups. The technical.
Now it's crazy because they're now speaking of Greek gods, these Egyptian gods. And where do these Greek and Egyptian and mythological creatures and gods come from? Well, one theory is that there was some of the angels who fell from heaven, right? They fell from heaven and they became demons. They decided to mingle with women, right? They decided to intercourse with women. So it was half demon, half angel, right? And half human. And so their offspring became the Nephilim, which are also known as the giants. So now we see in this Greek mythology that there's these giant demigods, these creatures that are half human, half demon, giants, and then you see them mingling with other creatures, maybe other animals. So you see half horse, half human, human bulls. So there's a lot of these different types of creatures and these ancient gods, which are actually false gods. They're fallen angels. And so this is why people think some of these are actually gods, because they're giants and they have a lot of wisdom, they have a lot of knowledge, but it's actually demonic knowledge. It's actually dark knowledge because they're evil. And these evil giants, these demons, they taught them dark arts like magic, astrology, war, um, herbal medicines, right? They taught them a lot of bad stuff. They taught humankind a lot of bad things. A lot of this information is also in the book of Enoch, that the demons or the angels traded the daughters, or traded the father for their daughter in exchange for weapons of warfare and of secret knowledge. But not all knowledge is good, right? Not all knowledge is good.
Technical Hermetica, compromising of astrological, medico botanical, alchemical, and magical writings, and the religio philosophical Hermetica, comprising of mystical philosophical writings. Holy shit.
Is this
Astrology is evil, right? Trying to find certain messages within the stars is a form of divination. Trying to find power in rocks and in certain things that God created, you're making that a God in itself. God wants us to worship the Creator. He is the Creator. We're not supposed to worship the creation. And so a lot of the people believe, a lot of Christians believe that the extraterrestrial aliens are actually demons, right? So if that's true, that can be true, right? Because aliens are from out of this world, extraterrestrial, which means out of this world. They're not from this world. Technically, the angels who were before angels that became demons are from another world. They're from out of this world. So technically both is true.
is this weed talk, Joseph?
No, this is so legit.
So legit, my man.
So this dude was probably an alien.
Dude, first of all, there are no probablys.
Yeah.
That's the benefit once you hear it or read it, is the fact that it's given in first person, and that's not possible. The things that are being said are impossible. Enough time has passed, though, that it's not like that. But
I'm going to read that.
he literally says, hey, there's a spaceship on Earth, and this is where it is. Because if all you care about is information, right? Like, that's what you start to see is when you get to everybody's civilization, Asian, Indian, African, when you get.
It's crazy how Egypt at one time was the center of the civilization of the most advanced civilization, right? They had the most advancements. But if you study their culture and their ancient civilizations, they had a lot of witchcraft. They had a lot of evil, right? So if you look at the book of Exodus in the Old Testament, it shows that there was a lot of witchcraft in there. That Moses came against the Pharaoh and his sorcerers, and they were able to perform some types of signs that were similar to God, not in the great capacity and the manifestation and the power like God, but they're able to perform certain signs similar to that. If you like this content, like, subscribe, comment, and share.